So what are the 5 classes into which the vertebrata classified? Who will tell me quickly? Name the classes of vertebrata. Shravani will say. Shravani, name the classes of vertebrata.
Species, Amphibia, Reptilia, Apes, Mammalia.
Okay, now the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we will start with, so you are remembering that superclass 2 they have divided. One is the species and the other superclass you call it as tetrapoda. So all the tetrapods will have the 4 limbs. Some exceptions may be there, but otherwise all the tetrapods will have the 4 limbs. So this superclass tetrapoda is further divided into 4 classes, and they are Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves, and Mammalia. So now this classification is done on the basis of the type of skin. Write it down. Everyone, this is very important feature, that what is the basis for this classification. The tetrapoda is classified into 4 classes on the basis of the type of skin. So what type of the skin do the amphibians have? So amphibian skin is moist, glandular, vascular, respiratory, and thin. An exoskeleton is absent. Remember, children, whatever you are finding on your body, the hairs are there on the body, head is having the long hairs, then you have the nails. These are all exoskeleton. What are these? What are these?
Exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton. Same way, if you see the cow, buffaloes, and all that, you find the horns they have, the hoofs they have. That also is what
Exoskeleton.
Exoskeleton.
exoskeleton. Okay, but these amphibians will not have any exoskeleton. Okay, so skin is what type? Quickly say.
Moist.
Huh? So you just remember for the amphibian children, the frog. Okay, and you have seen the frog, you know the skin is quite more moist, it is slimy sort of. So that why it is slimy? Because they have the skin is having the glands which secretes the mucus. So it is slimy, okay, slippery sort of. Then vascular supplied with the blood vessels, respiratory because it is helping in the respiration also. So by the diffusion process through the skin, you know that when the frogs are going for which process, they use the skin for respiration, remembering or not?
Yes, ma'am.
What process? They go for the sleep. What is that sleep?
Hibernation.
Hibernation.
Hibernation. Very good. Okay, so that is the winter sleep, isn't it? So you that is not the hibernation. So respiratory and thin. That time they use the skin for the respiration. So it is thin also because diffusion occurs through the skin. Now we take up the next class, that is reptilia. So what type of the skin do the reptiles have? The skin is dry. So remember here the snake, the lizard. So skin
Dry.
is
Dry.
dry, non-glandular. They do not have any glands. Okay, that's why it is dry. Covered with epidermal scales. So it is rough, children. Why? Because they have the epidermal scales. So if in the spotting you get the lizard, I would like to see this point, which is very important feature of
Reptilia.
Reptilia.
reptilia, because the lizard belongs to the class Reptilia. Is it clear? And the phylum is what? What is the phylum?
Chordata.
Chordata. Subphylum?
Tetrapoda.
Vertebrata.
Vertebrata.
Vertebrata. Then superclass will be
Tetrapoda.
tetrapoda, and class will be Reptilia. So try to learn this classification very nicely for your Monday's exam. Okay, now we take up the class aves. So aves, you know, all birds are included in the aves, class aves or aves. And what is the special feature? That their skin is covered with feathers. And the feathers serve as exoskeleton. That only serves as exoskeleton. So since the feathers are there, skin is dry and non-glandular. And then mammalia, skin is glandular. Which glands are present in your skin? Can you name it quickly?
Sebaceous glands.
Sebaceous gland. What else? One more.
Glands.
Sweat glands.
Sweat glands. Right. Okay. So sebaceous glands keeps it
Oil.
Oily.
oily. Huh? And sweat glands will keep it wet. Okay, and that helps in sweat glands help in maintaining the body temperature, children. Okay, whenever that's why in summer season you sweat a lot, and when the sweat evaporates, your body cools down. So it is covered, and you know our skin is having the hairs. All mammals will have the hairy skin. What type of skin do they have?
Hairy skin.
Hairy skin. Okay, so if you see the bear creatures having big hairs. Okay, but if you see us, so you find that we have small fine hairs are there. Now we'll take up one by one each class. All have understood the main feature on the basis of which the tetrapods are classified into 4 classes. Noted, everyone? Noted or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so amphibians, frog you remember, reptiles, the snake, lizard you remember, for aves, the birds you remember, mammalia you remember yourself, then monkeys. Okay, rats, they are all mammals. So now we take up the other salient features of the class amphibia. Now why you call amphibia? Because species, so you will find that they are aquatic, but now the evolution occurred, and from the water bodies, the animals started shifting towards the land, and they started using the land also for some of their activities. Okay, they never shift. It means they are not shifting completely to land there. Gradually they shifted. So they were sometimes they were spending in water, sometimes they were spending on land. So such animals which were using the water also and the land also, they are known as amphibians. So they are aquatic and terrestrial animals, but never marine. Okay, then they have descended from the stem amphibians called the Labyrinthodontia. Okay, so this we will not discuss. I'll discuss later then. Okay, then exoskeleton, you have seen already, you have written about it. The body has a bony exoskeleton, then they are carnivorous, they are cold-blooded animals. That's why they go for the which sleep, hibernation. Okay, skin is smooth or rough with pigment cells called the chromatophores. And now, other very important feature is that they have pentadactyl limbs. They have, what is the other important feature? Pentadactyl limbs. Pentadactyl means that they have 5 digits are there, which you call it formerly fingers in the children. That only is digit. Okay, they are called digits, and digits are clawed in our cases, but in these animals, clawless. In these animals,
Clawless.
clawless. Claw, you know what is it? The nails. Okay, digits are provided with the nails. You know, our fingers are provided with the nails. Okay, that only we call it. Birds also, you find they have the clawed digits. Okay, and how many digits are there? 5. So that's why you are calling what? Pentadactyl. What you are calling? What is that term? Say pentadactyl. And limbs are tetrapodous. So 4 limbs are there. So that's why we call it tetrapodous. The skull shows 2 occipital condyles. That is dicondylic skull. So you see it in our skeleton, which is in our lab, children. What is dicondylic and what is monocondylic? I'll tell you. Okay. Okay, so the attachment, the skull is resting on your vertebral column. So there you find the two condyles are there. We call it as occipital condyles. Now mouth has large jaws and homodont teeth. What will be the meaning of homodont, children? Our teeth dentition, so we describe it as heterodont. What is homodont meaning then? Speak up.
All
Same type
all teeth
of
are
teeth.
same.
All teeth are same. They don't have the incisors, canines, premolars and molars. Okay, they'll have only one type of teeth. And tongue is often protrusible. They can protrude out their tongue. Okay, so they are the amphibians. So you must have seen the frogs now when they catch the prey. They protrude out their tongue long. Okay, so protrusible tongue. Now, further respiration is by the lungs, the skin, as well as gills. So, frogs, they are living in water also. So, when they are in water, they'll use the gills. When they are on land, they'll use the lungs for respiration. When they are hibernating, that time they'll use the skin for the respiration. Okay, so now next, heart is three-chambered. This is important feature, remember. Gradually the evolution is occurring. The animals are evolving. The heart is also evolving. The two-chambered heart now evolved to form three chambers, two auricles and one ventricle. RBCs are biconvex, then oval and nucleated. RBCs are what shape? What is the shape of our RBCs?
Biconcave.
Biconcave, but here
Biconvex.
biconvex. Okay, now brain shows 10 pairs of cranial nerves, eyes have eyelids, and ears have a single ear ossicle. So you find the fishes will not have the eyelids, but in amphibians we start seeing the eyelids, and ears have a single ear ossicle. How many ear ossicles do you have? Anyone? Can you name them? We have done in that chapter. अच्छा आप लोग को since August तो हट ही गए. That's why you are not remembering. Anyone if you know? This ear, three ear ossicles are there. Remembering the names? Before also you have done in 10th class. Incus, malus and stapes. Okay, so it has only stapes. Then kidney are mesonephric with ureotelic excretion. They are unisexual and females are oviparous. This is important. Oviparous means that they lay eggs. They lay eggs. Fertilization is external or internal. And development will be direct or indirect. What type of development do they show? Frogs, tell me quickly. Direct development or indirect?
Indirect.
Indirect. What is the meaning of indirect? What is the meaning of indirect, children? ये याद हो जाना चाहिए. Whatever, remember children, whatever I am asking again and again, that's important for your exam. What is direct development and indirect development? Shravani, are you noting the things or not? Last period also, I discussed the same. What is direct development, Shravani?
Ma'am, I don't remember.
Not remembering. If you are noting the things, turn the pages and answer them. If you are not noting them, to what pages you'll turn them. Now I'm repeating. If the egg hatches to give the larva and larva then further develops to give the adult, you call it as indirect development. Okay, and if the egg hatches to give directly the adult, for example, your chicks. Okay, the hen, egg hatches and you get a chick. No larva stage is there. So you call it as direct development. Okay, but in the case of frogs, the tadpole is there. That is the larva stage of the frog. Is it clear? So if the egg hatches to give first the larva, then the larva develops further, that is the larva metamorphosis. Okay, the larva will metamorphosize for to give what? Adult. Is it clear? So that is known as what?
Indirect
Indirect.
development.
Indirect development. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how many features you have written? The salient features of amphibia? Did you number it? Always keep numbering the points, so that way it gets feed that in your brain कि हमने इसके इतने features पढ़े थे, फिर भूलेंगे नहीं. So
Ma'am,
I'll be
around 15.
15. Okay. So all this will be important for Viva. Okay. Now learn it. Now amphibia, some more features are there. So this just read it. Among all the amphibians, the frogs and toads are the most successful with 2,600 species. Some also show the parental care. For example, the pipa, okay, then carries fertilized eggs in pits on the dorsal side of the body. And you are calling them midwife toads. The male carries the eggs on the posterior part of his body till the tadpole larva hatches into water. Then some limbless amphibians they are showing in the pic. Otherwise, you know that all tetrapods will have the limbs, but these are the limbless amphibians. Okay, now we'll take up quickly the next class. So which number class it is?
Reptilia.
Which number?
Third.
Third.
Third. Remember, order is very, very important. Now the animals have further shifted to the land. Okay, and they are the reptiles. So class to which the reptiles belong, that is called Reptilia. So they are the true land vertebrates. They are the first true land vertebrates. They evolved in which era? The Mesozoic era. And the giant reptiles are which ones? Can you say? If I don't find them today. What are those giant reptiles?
Dinosaur.
Yeah, dinosaurs. They were the reptiles only. Okay, so Mesozoic era age, that is called the age of reptiles only. And now they are both-blooded animals, so you can keep writing the features. They are tetrapods. They are also having the pentadactylous limbs. Okay, only the snakes are limbless. Okay, snakes are limbless. That is, and then they are monocondylic. This you remember. They have monocondylic skull, and they are mostly carnivorous, and dentition is what type? What type of dentition?
Homodont.
Homodont. And now since they have shifted to the land, so what type of respiration they will show?
Through lungs.
Through lungs. So this respiration, children, it is known as pulmonary respiration. If the respiration is occurring through lungs, what you call it?
Pulmonary respiration.
Pulmonary respiration. And if it is going on through the gills, which is known as bronchial respiration. If it is through the skin, you call it as cutaneous respiration. Okay, now we come to heart. So it is incompletely four-chambered. Now further you can see the heart is evolving. Okay, 2 chambers in pisces, 3 chambers in amphibians. Now the partitioning is further progressing in the ventricles also, but it is not complete. So heart is incompletely 4-chambered, but the crocodiles have 4-chambered heart. Now circulation, that is the double circulation we see. RBCs are oval and here again biconvex, and they are nucleated. They are nucleated. And what type of nucleus do we have? RBCs.
Enucleated.
Enucleated. What does it mean?
No nucleus.
No nucleus.
Yes. Okay. So remember, now gradually see how the evolution is occurring. Now, the text features, kidneys are showing which type of the excretion? Uricotelic. Okay, and they have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, they're unisexual, they show sexual dimorphism, fertilization is here internal. Reptiles में याद रखो external और internal दोनों मिलता है, but here the fertilization are from here onwards. It will be internal fertilization. Females are oviparous, some are viviparous, like the snake and rat. Okay, rat they have taken in reptile, rat to mammal, isn't it? Ovoviviparous, rattlesnake. Okay, then cloaca is present. So cloaca is what? The excretory organ. It is part of the excretory system. Sorry, the ejection. So here you'll find the urinary bladder and the rectum. They get combined. Embryonic membranes are present. They do not show metamorphism. So what type of the development will be?
Direct.
Direct development.
Remember, metamorphosis is the process of changing of the larva stage into adult. That is known as metamorphosis. Okay, so they don't show metamorphism. So direct development is there. Parental care is absent. Okay, once they give birth to the young one, they will not look at that. So no parental care. The crocodiles, alligators, snakes, sea snake, lizard, all these are the examples. Tortoise, turtle, all come in the class Reptilia. Done everyone? Shall I move ahead with the next class?
Wait.
Okay. So important features you can write down. This fertilization one is very important. Oviparous or ovoviviparous. This is important. Okay, direct development or indirect. This point is important. And sexual dimorphism we observe here also. So they show sexual dimorphism. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we take up the next one. So further, the Reptilia dinosaurs were the giant reptiles. The largest reptile living today is the Indonesian. See here, the picture is given, the dragon. Okay, Komodo dragon is still surviving, and that is considered as a largest living reptile today. And snakes, lizards are commonly found, you know. And chameleon is an arboreal lizard. What is the meaning of arboreal, children? What is arboreal? Anyone knows? कहाँ रहता है chameleon? Where do you find the chameleons?
I'm on the trees.
Right, on the trees. So arboreal means living on trees. What is the meaning of arboreal?
Living on trees.
So aquatic means found in water. Terrestrial means on land. Arboreal means
On trees.
On the trees.
and aerial means what?
Those who can
In air.
Using the air for the flight. Is it that they won't live in the air, but they will be flying children. So you call it as aerial. Okay, done everyone? So poisonous snakes, cobras, kraits, vipers, they are examples they have given. Now we take up the next class, that is the aves. So it is your fourth class. So birds have evolved for ornithischian dinosaurs in the Jurassic period. When they have evolved? In the Jurassic period. They are warm-blooded. Now you find, अभी तक जितने अपन देख रहे थे, they were all
Cold-blooded.
now you find that the animals have started maintaining their body temperature constant. Okay, so they are warm-blooded vertebrates with a feathery exoskeleton. So that already you have noted. And very important feature, that is they have the ability to fly. Now, since they have ability to fly, children, they are aerial. So now many modifications you will find in their body structure. Streamlined body. What do you have to remember? Body is streamlined
Stream.
because they have to fly in the
Human.
air. Okay, now since they are flying in the air, the body has to be light. So the bones are spongy. They have pneumatic bones. What you call them? Bones spongy. The term used is pneumatic. 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 What you call it?
Pneumatic.
Pneumatic. Pneumatic bones. What you say? Pneumatic bones. What is the meaning of pneumatic bones?
Spongy bones.
They are light and spongy bones and has air cavities. Why they are light and spongy? Because the bones are having the air cavities. Forelimbs are modified into wings. Other very important feature, forelimbs are modified into wings. And 3 clawless digits they have. 3 clawless digits. Hind limbs are having 4 toes, have adapted to walking, swimming and perching. Mouth has been modified to a horny beak. This is again a very important feature of birds that their mouth is provided with the beak and the beak is horny. And teeth are
Absent.
absent. Brain is very well developed. Skull is monocondylic. And sacral vertebrae are fused to form a sacrum. They are fused to form a sacrum. Now here again the evolution occurring. Children, we also have the sacrum. Okay. The last vertebrae get fused to form the sacrum. Should I take up now next? All have noted? So warm-blooded animals, try to remember the technical word is homeotherms and poikilotherms, children. Poikilotherms. Poikilotherms, they are cold-blooded. What do you mean by poikilotherms?
Cold-blooded.
And homeotherms. What do you mean by homeotherms?
Warm-blooded.
Warm-blooded. So should I take up the next one? Next slide. Noted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so now last class. A few more characters you can get it. Hind limbs form the tibiotarsus, that is tibia plus the tarsals. Tarso-metatarsus, tarsals and the metatarsus, they combine together. And forelimbs form the carpo-metacarpus. Now you know what is it? Your palm. Okay, the palm is made up of the, you see your hand. You find the wrist is there. Okay, so wrist will have the, your hand one, that wrist is having the carpals. Then you find the palm is formed of the metacarpals. And then you have the digits. Followed? And in the feet, when you see, you find they are known as the tarsals, then metatarsals. What you call them? Tarsals will be which ones? Which is forming your, what you say, heel prominence. Okay, heel will be formed. Followed? And then you get the feet is there. जो long अपना part होता है. That is a metatarsal. Then you have the digits. So here what is happening? They are joining together. Okay, so hind limbs form the tibiotarsals and forelimbs form the carpometacarpus. Okay, now digestive tracts show a gullet, glandular proventriculus, muscular gizzard. So gizzard is very important, children, in the alimentary canal of the birds. So this is the part where they store the, after feeding na, they will store the food there in the gizzard. और gizzard में ना churning होती है. It will be, that is mastication will take place there. And three chambered cloaca they have. Voice is produced by the pharynx. So that's why birds produce different sounds will be there. Parrot, you know that parrot can speak just like us, is it? So larynx does not have vocal cords. Okay, so voice is produced by which part?
Pharynx.
In our case, the voice is produced by
Larynx.
Larynx.
Larynx, okay, which is provided with the vocal cords. And heart, now you remember, complete separation is there. So that's why now four-chambered heart. And RBCs are still
Nucleated.
kidneys are showing metanephric and excretion is uricotelic. So uricotelic means least amount of water they need. They have to fly in the air, so body cannot store water. Is it clear? So they show uricotelism. 12 pairs of cranial nerves are present. Noted? Should I change it, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So sexes are separate, sexual dimorphism is seen, fertilization internal, they are oviparous because all the aves, all the birds lay eggs. Eggs have large yolks. Okay, and parental care is highly developed. You must have seen how the birds feed their babies. How the birds feed their young ones. Okay, hummingbirds are the smallest known birds. Then Archaeopteryx is a fossil bird, closely resembling the reptile. So this we have done last year, isn't it? Evidences, the paleontological evidence. That time I explained you all. Archaeopteryx is the paleontological evidence that the evolution has occurred. The birds have evolved from reptiles. Okay, now we take up quickly the next class, that is the last, the fifth class, Mammalia. So we'll finish up. Mammals, they are warm-blooded. Now exoskeleton, you know that the skin is hairy. And it has sebaceous glands and the sweat glands. Milk-producing mammary glands are present in female. This is an important feature of Mammalia. No other animals, no other class or group is having the mammary glands to nourish their young ones. So the mammary glands are present in the mammals. Internal ear has 3 ear ossicles and they have the external ear also. No other animals, no class you find the external ear called pinna present. Teeth you find heterodont and diphyodont. Twice in the lifetime, mammals get the teeth. You all know it or not? What are the first set called? What are the first
Milk
set?
teeth.
Milk teeth.
Teeth. Okay, and then the next one? Other one which is
Permanent.
Permanent teeth.
permanent teeth. Okay, and skull is dicondylate. Lower jaw has a single dentatory bone. Gastrocentrus vertebrae has a centrum. So this is important. Now try to observe this in the skeleton which we have, children. Flat means vertebrae are resting on one vertebra rests on the other vertebra with the help of that flat structure. That only we call it a centrum. And 2 epiphyses are there. Then muscular diaphragm is present. So diaphragm is doing what? It is separating your body into 2 parts. The upper thorax and the lower
Abdomen.
abdomen. Very good. The upper thorax and lower abdomen. Okay, so thorax is protecting which organs? Which organs are present in thorax part?
Lungs.
Lungs. Heart.
Heart.
Heart. Okay, and abdomen will have the alimentary canal, liver, pancreas, then the reproductive organs are all present. Now, so RBCs are biconcave. So write it. Mammals, RBCs are biconcave and nucleated or enucleated. And brain also has again 12 pairs of nerves are there, and 4 optic lobes are there in the brain. And excretion is ureotelic. Animals are unisexual. They show sexual dimorphism. And males always have a copulatory organ called penis. Males always have a copulatory organ called penis. So this is the important feature of the mammals, and it is the feature which is helping in distinguishing the male and female. That is, it shows the sexual dimorphism. And females are viviparous, giving birth to the young ones. Fertilization is internal. Embryos are surrounded by amnion. Now this is also a very important feature, that they have the amnion. Okay, the membrane is there. The babies or the embryos are protected inside the amnion, and which is filled, the cavity is known as the amniotic cavity, which is filled with the amniotic fluid. Protected. So embryo is bathing in the amniotic fluid present in the amniotic cavity, covered by or surrounded by
Amnion.
amnion. So hence they are called amniota. And you know, high degree of parental care is seen in mammals. So further, they are classified as prototherians. Egg-laying mammals are there some. Metatherians, the pouched animals like your kangaroo. And eutherians are there, which are the true mammals. Noted, everyone? Eggs are microlecythal children. They do not have much yolk. Okay, very minute yolk is there. So egg is small. In the mammal's case, the egg is very small. Why? Because they don't have the yolk. The hen egg, ostrich egg is so big, you know. Okay, why? Because they have the yolk. But mammal's egg is microlecythal, very minute amount of yolk is present. Noted, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So prototheria, that one they have further taken, so we will not study. Some platypus they have given, prototheria, but without the epiphysis. Ears have external pinna. Cloaca is absent here, okay? So marsupials, mammals, which are the marsupials, children, this you remember. Marsupials are which ones? Which have got the pouch, the brood pouch is there. And that brood pouch is known as marsupium. That's why these animals are called marsupials. And mammary glands have the nipples in the previous one also. But the placenta is absent here in the marsupials. And the eutheria. So marsupium is absent there, no pouch is there. And placenta is very well developed. So human beings are included in eutheria. Human beings are included in which one?
Eutheria.
Eutheria.
Mammary glands are very well developed with the nipples. Uterifuse to form a common vagina. Okay, so uterus fuses. Then females are viviparous. And 4 lines of development, rodents are there. So that way, so some orders of eutherians are there, but we don't have to, we have to study only till class. Okay, order, subclass we are not doing. So I'll show you I will take up to the time is up, but children, isn't it? So I'll stop sharing. So I hope everyone has understood all the 5 classes of the vertebrata, and we have discussed in the class the different phyla into which the non-chordates are classified. So try to prepare it. I hope no doubt in your preparation you have started studying for the practicals. Studying or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so all the best for that.